Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition all Hecata Chronicle, Berlin Bloodlines. This is episode 4, The Discipline of Desire. Let's meet our desirable vampires, starting with Avery.
Hi everybody, it's me Avery, at GoldenGwydion on all of the social media platforms, and this evening I will be portraying unsere gnädige Herr Edgar Waite.
We will see how gnädige he is this evening. Az?
Hello, I'm Az, or as I was on the social media, because I think I'm funny, and tonight I will be playing the, delicious, delightful, devious Adelaide Nagaraja.
That is correct. Luna?
Hi, I'm Luna, or druidbynight. You can find me at druidbynight on all the things, and today I will be playing Imogen Lamia.
Rachel?
Hi everybody, I'm Rachel, otherwise known as Azure, and today I'm playing the Mistress of Ghosts, Maria Russellini.
And last but not least, Ramos.
Hello, I am Ramos, aka at RamostheNomad everywhere, and tonight I will be playing Dr. Tullio Giovanni.
The doctor might come in handy tonight. We will also be joined by our special guest, who will introduce themselves at the dramatically appropriate time. As always, this is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition actual play. We've gone over our safety and consent. Please check in with yourselves, as your well-being is important to all of us who are playing. All the content warnings will be down in the description, and please turn on closed captions, because if I speak German, I will translate it for you in the closed captions. If you all are ready, lass uns anfangen. Luna, what does that mean?
Let's get started.
Let us begin. Very good.
Close.
And let's return to Berlin 3 nights after the coterie went to Berghain and attended the Witch of Kudam's Embrace Night. From the moment we draw our first breath, desire manifests itself in a myriad of forms. The quest for knowledge, the hunger for success, the ache for connection, and the intoxicating allure of love. Yet desire can also become a voracious beast, consuming reason and leaving chaos in its wake. It is the unquenchable thirst that can lead us down treacherous paths, blinding us to the consequences of our actions. The object of desire, once attained, may reveal itself as a mirage, leaving us yearning for a satisfaction that forever slips our grasp. We begin our scene tonight, the night of the Bahari party, first at Edgar's penthouse, inside of his bedroom, where Edgar's fiancée Aylin lays in his large California king-size bed, Tullio examining her person as the medical professional that he is, while Edgar, Adelaide, and Bella are out on his balcony. Tullio, without having to roll, right off the bat, Aylin looks nothing like she did a few nights ago, when she breathed her light into you, broke your blood bond, and restored your memories. A feat which would normally come at a great cost to you if you could even find a kindred to do it. But she asked for no price. She merely did it because Edgar asked her to do it. Aylin's skin is sallow and pitted, her eyes have a yellow tint, and she looks very weak and gaunt. She's either not eating or she's fasting. As you are aware, she is a person of some religious persuasion. I need 2 rouse checks from you, one for your nightly and one because of your predator type, as she fits that bill perfectly in this moment.
2 failures.
Awesome. So that's going to put you at 3 hunger. And the voice of your beast, which is of course your sire, comes into your mind. You know what she is, my son. Take her out now. Free us, and we will have the Shadow Bane.
I am free of you.
We shall see. So, if you would roll me a wits and intelligence, whichever is higher for you, and a medicine roll, please. Your successes will determine how much you can figure out what's wrong with her, besides what you can see visually.
Foolishly, I will rouse the blood for this. Failure.
It puts you at 4 hunger, Tullio, and your beast grows louder now. She's not going to live. You can see it. Take her out. Save us both. Do not make me come and kill her.
This is one skill that I earned without you. Let me do my fucking job. No math. Seven successes.
Wonderful.
Well,
You'll be able to learn
successes.
everything that I have. Here we go. You start first with your stethoscope, and as she leans forward so you can listen to her lungs, she is short of breath, and she wheezes as she attempts a deep breath. Obviously, you don't have access to an x-ray machine here, but she seems to have acute bronchitis, or if not, on her way to full-blown pneumonia. She leans back against the pillow, and you listen to her heart. She's in bradycardia. Her resting heart rate is about 35 beats per minute, which is dangerously low, even for someone laying in a bed. You wrap an inflatable cuff around her arm and place the stethoscope in the crook of her elbow. And once you do the reading, you see she's in hypertension. Her blood pressure is about a 140/90. And as you take her temperature, she's sitting at about 35.5 degrees Celsius or 95.9 degrees Fahrenheit, practically in hypothermia. And she's wrapped in many blankets on this bed. And of course, Edgar had already told you that Aelin is unable to walk on her own, that he has had to turn nursemaid, sort of carrying her to the bathroom, washing her, things of that nature. So by all of your medical knowledge, this is beyond an anomaly. At best, she should be in intensive care, maybe in a medically induced coma. At worst, she should be dead. And yet she doesn't seem to outwardly anyway be in severe distress outside of the visible physical symptoms. It's as if whatever makes her more than human is fighting against her mortal frailty. So all you can do for her is give her a banana bag to at least get some fluids and nutrients in her, especially if she's not eating, and give her some acetaminophen for any pain she might be having. So as you place the needle in her arm, Tullio, and hook up the IV for her, it's important for me to note that she has not looked at you once during the entire exam. Instead, she's been looking towards the wall, as if she can see through it to exactly where Edgar is standing on the balcony. And the back of her left hand, and I should make a note here that in Germany, we do not wear rings on our left hand because it's bad luck. All wedding ring stuff is right hand, but neither Edgar nor Aelin is German. But she's taken the back of her left hand, has been tracing it against her lips, where she wears an old-fashioned ring with pearls on it. And she does not react as you poke her with the needle, but she simply says, "How long do I have, Herr Doctor?"
Bedside manner was never my strong suit. Lady Aelin, I apologize. By all rights, you should be already dead.
She nods, as if she expected you to say that. Have you ever been in love, Dr. Giovanni?
It's a very difficult question. I am not sure that I know how to love.
Still looking towards the wall, she says, I've passed by many eyes, Herr Doctor, but I only ever got lost in his. And in those eyes, I see everything. The red-headed boy lying in a field of heather. The song his mother Maureen sang to him. I don't know if he even remembers it. Grown into a young man in a traveling circus. Shirtless and sun-kissed on a fishing boat. And then his dark family dug their claws into his heart and transformed Fionlach Dunsan into Edgar Waite through manipulation, control, and depravity. I see the monster within him and the man he wants to be in those eyes. Those eyes that hold everything my soul ever thirsted for. And I like to think, Dr. Giovanni, that when this life ends, that I would find him in the next life. That our love is forever and everlasting. My mother always told me that souls never forget. And I like to believe this is true. That there are lifetimes Fionlach and I have shared in different bodies, in different times. filled with passionate days and happy children. How else could I have found a love so profound when I wasn't even looking? So I gave him everything. I protected him. I protected you. I saved his son. And what did I see in his eyes, Herr Doctor? Knowledge. Horrible, unwanted knowledge. In those eyes I love so much, I saw him slaughter that girl in Berghain of his own free will and choice. A blood doll, like I was a blood doll, like Kenneth was a blood doll. It could have just as easily been us, but he didn't see us in her. He didn't see anything but himself. And maybe that's all he's ever seen in me and in his children and in his family. Just himself. And she then speaks in Edgar's voice. She mimics it perfectly, which Huddy cannot do, but for the purposes of this, she does. And she says, "We will see each other soon, Anastasia. I hope you find your appetite for me. It would be an interesting experience, I think." And then her voice returns, strained, but back to her regular speaking voice. "His actions have hurt me in ways that don't compare to my failing body. And he did it all while wearing the symbol of my faith around his neck. Mocking God, spitting in the face of the one who loves him, who has sacrificed everything for him." And finally now she looks at you, Tullio, as tears begin falling down her cheeks, soaking her hair and the pillow she's laying on. "Would you grant a dying woman one wish, Dr. Giovanni?"
For you, I would grant 1,000.
"Would you help your brother be the man he wants to be, and not the monster he thinks he needs to be, even after I am gone, so that maybe in the next life his soul will remember?"
If I have my way, it won't be up to me, Aelin. But I will do this for you.
She slowly, wincingly turns away from you towards the bedside table, and you watch her use her thumb and slip the ring from her finger onto the surface of the table. And she does not turn back around to address you further.
I will leave her. If there's nothing more that I can do in the time being. She is, yeah, I'm gonna go to Edgar.
All right. So while that exchange was taking place, Edgar, Adelaide, and Bella out on the balcony. Bella, right now, Edgar is showing you texts and photos from Kenneth in Scotland on her phone. He seems happy, He's smiling. He's a picture of health, practically beaming at the screen before you. And Bella seems beyond pleased and happy and grateful. And she says, "Look, Uncle Eddie, it's like a miracle. Look how healthy he looks."
It is a miracle. And I think it bears noting that Edgar's usually a bit of a sour mood, but it's been so much worse the last few days.
Mm-hmm. Bella can tell that you're in a bad mood, and she was attempting to cheer you up by showing you how good your godson is doing.
I'm proud of him. This is what he deserves. It's what you deserve.
I'm already happy. Mama saved me from everything.
I'm glad you see it that way.
And I'll take good care of Aelin while you're gone. I promise. And if anything happens, Mama will feel it. I'll let her know.
Edgar just nods.
Bella sort of walks over to where the balcony would lead to where Aelin is currently, your bedroom. And here in Germany, again, I should note, most homes come complete with metal shutters on the outside that you can pull up and down or turn up and down from inside. And these shutters are completely down. Aelin can't see outside to the balcony from where she is. So Bella's making an attempt to try and peek in. It's a futile attempt, but she's getting the feeling that Adelaide might want to say something to Edgar.
She's not going to get better like this, Edgar. Tullio is very good at what he does.
It's not something I'd like to talk about right now.
Or now. I will let it go. Is there anything you need?
I need to speak with Kasim.
About what exactly?
Sahira. I know where she is. And I can't take the time to do this for myself. And he is the only one I trust to do this job well.
He's currently working on doing some other cleanup for the anarchs.
They are not anarchs.
No, they're not. I did get a text from Beatrice.
So since we're discussing this, before we continue on, since you have a third person who's also received texts from these mystery kindred, Tullio, now you may enter into the balcony as you see Adelaide and Edgar having a discussion.
Tullio?
She is, by all rights, she should be dead. But what makes her special is fighting against all of the mortal ailments she's experiencing.
She's, what did she say? Burning through her own life first.
It does appear that way, yes.
It was a statement. This is what is occurring. She needs more than medicine. I did tell Edgar we wouldn't speak of this at the moment, and his mood is already, well.
For the moment, I don't care what Edgar wants to speak of. He needs to make arrangements. One path or another. There's a choice to be made here.
What is the likelihood that she would benefit from medicine?
There's too much assaulting her body. She needs to be in intensive care. An emergency room will treat her well, but even then, I can't guarantee anything. I would need to be at her beck and call.
If I were to buy an in-house doctor, what is your prognosis?
You will need to take her to a hospital, Edgar. In-house is nothing. They need the proper equipment. They need everything at the hospital's disposal.
I can get all of that here.
As a side note, you would know as a medical professional, Tullio, that none of her symptoms make sense. This isn't something naturally happening to her. This is beyond... It is at the very least a masquerade breach were you to bring her to a hospital. Maybe not a masquerade breach for Kindred, but for whatever the hell she is.
You will extend her suffering. All of these things that she's experiencing they don't add up. One symptom does not occur with another. Edgar, she is going to die.
Or you let me help. She'll be mortal, Edgar. She might not be human, but she'd stay alive.
What we are isn't living.
I said mortal. At least pay attention if I'm trying to help you. Not a ghoul. Not kindred. Mortal.
Get to the fucking point. What are you suggesting?
That you let me help you.
How?
I don't entirely know, but I do have the means. But it's her choice.
It's not enough.
How do you know that? You were trying to get her an in-house doctor.
The lack of information is not enough. I'm not willing to take a risk.
It has to do with her light. With what she is. The mage.
It's always been her choice. I can't stop you, but I can hate you. So do whatever the fuck you want. You always fucking do. And Edgar will turn and go inside.
Tullio will stop him. You have much to make up for to that woman. She saw you. She watched what you did in Berghain. If it takes a lifetime of apology and condolence, you should seek that out.
Good words, good thoughts, good actions.
I'll take my hand off him.
So, you'll know that you have a party that you have to get to. Would be very rude to be late to Hannelore Lamia's Bahari party. Bella's staying here with Aelin to watch her. Adelaide, is there anything you'd like to give to Edgar? You can certainly do it in the car, but you would like to give him something, yes? Or would you like to leave it here?
Actually, I think I'm going to leave it with Bella, just
Sure.
in case.
Just in case Aelin passes and becomes a ghost? Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So Bella will have that. You have everything that you need. Edgar, are you going to say goodbye to Aelin, or are you also going to leave with the rest of your coterie?
He's going into the bedroom.
Aelin is facing towards the shutters. She doesn't move when you approach. She has an IV hooked up to her now.
I intend to have words with Hannelore tonight. And I know that doesn't mean anything to you.
How close are you to her?
She's sitting on the edge of the bed.
She very, very slowly and painfully sits herself up, grabs onto your shoulders to steady herself, and she reaches for your neck, pulls the necklace off, and the chain snaps, and she lays herself back down. You can also see that she's taken her ring off.
Do you want to tell me what you're upset about?
You can see that she's been crying. Silent tears still fall from her eyes. And in Farsi, she says, I don't want to look at you right now. I don't want to see what other horrors I will find in your eyes.
What do you want from me, Aelin?
To be left in peace.
I see. You should know. Before I go. I didn't want any of this that's happened in the last few days to be like this. None of this is what I planned for. And I'm trying to play their games to get you what you need. Everything I've done for you.
She doesn't say anything.
Blood's not blood, alright. He'll stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'll clock the ring that she sat on the table. And he will take the ring off of his own finger and sit it down beside it.
All right. So Edgar and Tullio head out to do their thing. And Adelaide, you wanted to speak to Bella.
Yeah, and
Please proceed.
and Aelin.
Oh, and Ellen. Yes, please proceed.
So Adelaide's gonna take Bella into the room.
Into the room with Aelin. Mm-hmm.
Hello, Aelin. Bella's going to be staying with you, as I'm sure you know.
Aelin just nods. You hear her wheezing every time she takes a breath.
And this is all in her native language.
In Arabic. Mm-hmm.
I did find a way that you could be mortal again. You don't deserve this pain.
Aelin in Arabic, again, not turning to speak with you, says, I just want to be at peace. Frau Nagarasha.
What does your version of peace sound like to you, Aelin?
In a land where there is no hurt. That is what is waiting for me when I go.
Does she see the rings?
Yes.
He's an idiot, but he does love you.
She doesn't say anything. You see in her hand, she apparently has a necklace in her hand, and she's holding her palm opened in her hand. And it is what's called the Faravahar. It's an ancient symbol of Zoroastrian faith. I don't know how much Adelaide would know about that. You might know it from Kasim, as he is also Zoroastrian. It depicts a bearded man on top of a pair of wings, with one hand holding a circle representing eternity, and the other holding a flame representing the purifying powers of Ahura Mazda.
Okay. If you need us, Bella can get in contact with me.
And she says, "Thank you."
She'll kind of reach out and like gently like touch her hand and
It's almost as cold as yours, Adelaide.
then Adelaide's gonna go join Edgar and Tullio. She's gonna kiss Bella on both cheeks and
Bella is trying to be strong, and although she doesn't know Aelin very well, you can tell she is concerned, but she's pretty tough.
Maybe talk to her about her faith, Bella. That might cheer her up.
Bella nods.
And could you ask her if she feels better after she goes to church?
I think it's called temple.
Temple. Okay, sorry.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll keep you in the loop.
Thank you.
And she smiles widely this time, flashes you those very small fangs that she has.
Then she'll go.
So, as the three of you head off to Hannelore Lamia's party, let's move ourselves to the party, to Maria and Imogen, right now in Imogen's room. Maria, you haven't been to all of the rooms in this beautiful manor home that is owned by Hannelore Lamia, that Imogen lives in. It has many, many rooms, but the rooms are not large. She houses 12 childer and herself, but it is small. And Imogen, would you like to describe for us the room that we're in, what your room looks like, and the outfit that Maria is currently helping you lace up?
Yeah, so Imogen's room is color scheme is black and dark green. The walls are dark green with the black accent wall. The bed sheets are black and the comforter is like a green velvet. And the furniture is dark wood, and there are flowers, potted flowers and vases on most of the surfaces. There is a shrine on a shelf, but it's missing its centerpiece. And the outfit is a velvet green gown with a black lace bolero layered over it.
So if there's anything that you two would like to discuss before Imogen must begin her duties as the host of the party. Now, maybe you don't understand why Imogen is the host of the party. She's the youngest Lamia. It's strange. You'd think Hannelore would be the host. She's the leader of the Bahari. But anything you'd like to talk to Imogen about, now is the time to do it.
So she's helping, Maria's helping Imogen get ready. And she's going to be like, this is such a beautiful dress. This color.
Thank you.
And this place. So well put together. I love the energy in here.
My second sanctuary.
And actually, it's funny you brought that up, because that is actually a question that I was thinking that Maria might have, considering everything. And Maria will say, so I gotta ask, because I'm still learning, and thank you once again for being my mentor with all this. What's Hannelori's role tonight? Your role tonight?
Well, I'm hosting, so I'm going to make sure everybody is enjoying themselves and partaking in Mortals. And Hannelori's leading the ceremony.
Interesting. Yeah, because I thought, and take no offense to this, I thought Auntie Hannelori herself would be the one hosting, but still, that's exciting.
It's a lot, but yes.
How are you feeling?
She kind of looks down. Fine. Excited.
And speaking of tokens of thanks, I wanted to get you something personal as a thank you, not only for taking me on, but also for what we had talked about in the garden before. A thank you gift, if you will. And she had arrived with a small, about yay big, dark wood box. And she would, once finished helping Imogen situate her dress as needed, she would go over and pick it up and offer it with both hands and just say, "This is for you."
Imogen will raise an eyebrow and said it was in a box.
It's a box. There's no wrapping on it. There's no like bow tying. There is a little silver locking mechanism on the front, but it's one of those ones that are easily moved, and wood burned on the top of it would be the symbol of Lilith.
I'm not going to release specters if I open this, am I?
That would have been a funny joke. That would have been a great prank, but no, I promise you this is okay. But no, you're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. Also, Giancarlo is not here either. I left him with Catherine. So, no. What did you call him? The rude cigarette wraith? Was that you, or was that? Oh, no. But you did tell me. No, I think Adelaide was the one that called him the rude cigarette wraith. That just stuck with me so much.
It's not wrong. Now we'll open the box.
Inside, in a bed of red cloth material, are a set of 2 daggers. They're very pointed, very ritualistic, ceremonial looking. In the center is a disc with the symbol of Lilith on it, and the handle itself is of dark green color.
Maria, how did you get these?
Oh, I know a few people. Don't you worry about that. But I felt this was appropriate, considering what you've shown me and what we've talked about. And I have a thing for knives. So what can I say? I mean, you've seen mine, and she's gonna show the hilt of hers kept on her person. But I felt that this might be an appropriate gift from me to you as my sign of thanks for everything.
She smiles and looks up at you. Thank you. This is beautiful. I think I know where they'll go.
Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. So I guess we just got to wait now for our other family to arrive.
So as you finish giving the gift and getting Imogen ready, one of Imogen's sisters, Hana Lamia, pops her head in. And of course, Imogen, you know that Hana is a caitiff, but she was adopted by Hannelore Lamia, as Hannelore, more so than any Hecata here in Berlin, has adopted many, many childer from not just Hecata bloodlines, but from other clans as well. Anyone who wishes to join the Bahari, she takes them in as her own daughter. And she pops her head in and says, Schwester, wir brauchen dich, we need you.
Oh, of course. And make yourself comfortable.
No, it's, people are arriving. The
Oh,
party
right.
is starting.
Perfect.
You should be there
And
to
I'll-
greet people.
Right. And I'll start making my way out the door, kind of beckon for Maria to follow.
Maria will follow.
So, as you head down into the main area, Edgar, Adelaide, and Tullio also arrive. You have a gift that is not something that you can just bring into the party at the moment. You might have to just tell Imogen that you have it and leave it somewhere in the front. Because it's, I believe, 3 large rose bushes. Is that correct?
So it is 13 large rose bushes.
13 large rose bushes,
One
of
for
course.
each of the Lamia.
Of course. Right. All right. So that's something, and you. So you. Okay. Wait. For the storyteller's edification, you put 13 rose bushes into Edgar's Ben's truck.
No,
that correct?
Edgar bought the florist shop.
So it's okay. So can we say it's been delivered? That Imogen has already received it. Okay. Because my goodness, the damage to that Ben's truck.
You bought the
Be
whole
catastrophic.
stuff?
Edgar has 5 dots in resources. Edgar can buy whatever he wants.
It was just easier that way.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
fair
Fair.
enough. So as the 3 of you arrive, you see that there are 2 people standing outside of Hannelore's manor home. And one is, both of them are people you know. One is a woman named Sabina. You know her to be Imogen's ghoul. And the other is a man named Jaeger. And Edgar, you would know, Jaeger has been Hannelore's ghoul as long as you've known Hannelore, so maybe even longer. He's probably been a ghoul longer than you've been a Kindred. And they both stand there and look you over, and they say, "Good evening. Everyone seems to be dressed according to the instructions. Wunderbar."
I'll make my way towards the door.
Mhm.
And open it. Oh my goodness. Everyone's here.
I see
Edgar?
Maria's head just poking out from behind Imogen going,
Edgar looks not in a party mood.
Mm-hmm. Tullio, Adelaide, thank you for coming. Come in.
Yeah, okay. I will since you are the mastermind, Tullio will present the group gift as if you would kindly describe it. This was your
Or shall I,
Or
as I'm the one who suggested it?
that
As
works.
You are the one who helped with the procural of the gift because you are a kind and malevolent storyteller. What does it look like?
The gift that Tullio presents takes up the entirety of his arm span to carry. It is in a box, I assume, that you put it in a box. And when you open the lid of the box, it is an ivory cast statue of Lilith, perfectly smooth and pristine, with great details to the eyes and the anatomy of the naked Lilith weeping her tears of blood.
I think she would be a little disarmed by those.
Mhm.
Just staring at it and taking in all the details. You didn't have to.
You said that gifts were appropriate. This is not all of it. Maria has the rest of it, but we didn't know where you would want it set up.
I do. And in fact, it is currently sitting in my car. So I can go grab that if you want.
Well, everyone make me rouse checks.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry, not the ones who already have, but Maria and Imogen, make me rouse checks.
Okay.
Please let me
God.
break my streak. Please let me break my streak. Nope.
Had a heart
Success.
attack.
So let me have everyone's hunger really quick. Maria, you're at 2, Edgar at 1, Adelaide at 1, Imogen at 1, Tullio at 4.
Correct.
Alrighty. So, you can hand the gift off to Jaeger, and Maria, you can go and get the rest of the stuff and bring it back, and Jaeger will take it and put it where it needs to be, because Imogen needs to be down here at the party, not up in her room. Mm-hmm. So let's very quickly discuss where you all are, because you're in really beautiful home, and I know most of the people sitting here are not European or haven't seen European manor homes, so let's describe it a little bit. We're here in Steglitz-Zehlendorf, which is the same district that Olivia lives in, and it's very close to Edgar's home. The air as you walk into the manor home is filled with excitement and mystery in equal measure. The grand entrance hall is bedecked with flickering candelabras and a massive tapestry that looks very similar to the statue that you just gave Imogen. Depicts a naked woman weeping tears of blood, her face turned away from the onlooker. And as you proceed further into the main room, which is attached to the infamous Bahari Garden, or a solarium, as a human might refer to it, you are greeted by a variety of kindred in their masks, engaging in polite conversation. You see mortal Bahari followers, also masked, but you can distinguish them as they are naked. The quartet in the corner is also naked, as they play a soft tune on a variety of stringed instruments. The center of the room is a grand chandelier that hangs from the ceiling, adorned with crystals that catch and reflect the candlelight. The dance floor just beneath it is made of parquet, and it's very inviting. You want to twirl and waltz under it, since we're here in Germany. The windows, even the ones in the solarium, are draped with heavy crimson brocade curtains, so you can't see outside and no one can see in. And the solarium itself, which you can only see just a bit of from the main room, is decorated with wrought iron furniture and soft cushions that are on the floor and on the furniture. You can see some of the garden. It's a sanctuary of greenery. It's filled with exotic plants and vibrant flowers. And as you enter the room, you can smell this intoxicating mix of lavender and jasmine and citrus blossoms. The last thing that you would notice is that the main room is dotted with the childer of Hannelore Lamia, all dressed in heavy black robes and dark gossamer veils. Their identity would be hard to determine unless you went up to each one and asked who they were. Only Imogen seems to be dressed, I guess you could call it party appropriate. And this is the scene you all find yourselves in now. Full of kindred, full of blood dolls, full of music, and some ceremony that's going to be happening tonight that only one of the coterie is aware of what it is. But someone you don't notice is Hannelore Lamia, and she's not in this room, and she's not someone who can easily hide. She stands over 210 centimeters tall, or about 7 feet tall. So let's move our scene to where she is. And Josh, would you like to introduce yourself and who you're playing for us tonight?
Good evening, everyone. I am going to be playing Lucius Giovanni. A wonderful time. I'm excited to see the rest of my family.
Yes. Who has missed you dearly, I'm sure. Now, Lucius, who do you think found who? Hannelore hasn't seen you since you were a teenager. So did you seek her out, or did she spot you first, do you think?
Oh, I took a beeline to find her. Probably went round the back and
And
tried to find her first.
she's brought you to her private bedroom to be away from everyone as she has this conversation with you. And she stands there. Now, how tall do you think Lucius is?
Lucius would also be very tall.
I'd imagine he would be.
At least 6'5".
So she is still taller than you.
Oh, absolutely.
Perhaps you were hoping when you saw her again, grown up as you were, that you would eclipse her, but still not. Just like being a child again.
Still a grown boy.
Yes. And she's wearing a crimson dress that is cut down, so it cuts down all the way almost to her navel. And she has her hands folded. Her hair is long and dark, and her eyes are dark. And she looks down at you. You can see her hands are twitching, though, as if she wants to reach out and touch you, but she's not going to. You don't think, anyway.
Yeah, in that case, I am going to just reach out my own hand and take her fingertips on mine.
She lets you, and she does give into it and almost interlaces her fingers into yours.
I am happy to see you.
She lets out a shuddering breath. I have to be honest. I never thought I would see you again.
We have all had to make difficult decisions for our family. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. But of course, you know that I am no longer of La Familia.
I am very well aware.
I can tell by the tone of your voice that you are disappointed.
If you want to know my true feelings, then I should tell you I feel abandoned.
It wasn't my choice, Lucius. I did not. When Seneca learned what I and your father and your aunt had done, he took you from me.
And yet, there were other options. But that is what brings us to today. So I do not regret it.
Have you seen your father?
No.
He's here. He doesn't go by Valentino anymore. He's expunged that from his name. They call him Osric now.
I have heard the name.
He did it to protect us. We heard the prophecy that the purge was coming. So he made deals with Salamia and with the family, the bankers of Dunsan, to embrace us. We were just waiting for you to be a little older. You were just a boy.
You lost that opportunity. I prefer this. Giovanni should at least attempt to reconstruct themselves.
But you do not have to, Lucius, my son. You can forge your own path away from the ambitions of Augustus and from Roger.
What else do I have?
You have me. You have your father. You have your family.
I am unconvinced.
Then speak to them.
That is why I'm here tonight. Reconvene with my family. Those who do and do not hold my name.
No matter what you do, Lucius, and no matter what I must do, I will always love you. You must notice I have no embraced male child because I could not, my heart could not, for the ones that I lost.
Guten Nacht, Mutter.
Enjoy the party, my son. You leave Hannelori's bedroom. So, let's return now to the party where everyone is gathered. Coterie has reconvened in this place where you see many kindred are already here, have already entered. Let's talk about some of them that are here that you know or don't know. So we have the entire Samdi line are here. And as I said, all of the children of the Lamia are here, but they're all wearing masks, dark veils, so you'd have to sort of ask them if you wanted to know who they were. We also have 2 members of the Azure bloodline here who are wearing white. So they are members of the Bahari, Oleg and Nicola Azure. Neither of them are heads of the bloodline, but Nicola wears a polished obsidian mask and Oleg wears a smoothed bone mask. And Maria, Edgar, Tullio, and Imogen, when you see the Ashers, and Lucius as well, if you've have made your way back into the party as well. When you see the Ashers, something strange comes over you every time you're in a room with an Asher. It's almost as if your blood notices them in some sort of reverence. And Lucius, you remember this type of feeling? You used to feel this with Roger when you were in the presence of the Cappadocian. It's as if being in the blood of the ancient line of the original clan of death always makes you feel like you need to be a little bit more polite, upright, show a little deference to them. It is something, of course, you do not have to do, but something in your blood tells you should. Adelaide, you don't feel this at all, and it's for reasons you don't know. Most likely. Most likely Alexander wasn't schooling you in the very strange history of the Nagaraja.
No, we're just the superior bloodline, and all should bow before us.
Of course. And as I said, the Samdi line is here. They're in black. They're not members of the Bahari. And you also see 2 other people in black, dressed in black. You see Hector Milliner. He's seated on a very large chair, and you see a woman who you know to be Beatrice Putanesca, and she is seated on the floor on a cushion next to his chair, and she has her head on his knee, and Hector is stroking her hair. And that is the scene that you all see. So if you'd like to talk with, and Lucius, you are also here. You see all of these things. You see your childer are here amidst a group of kindred. So whatever you'd like to do, if you'd like to talk amongst yourselves, if you'd like to explore the party, if you'd like to go get a drink, looking at Tullio, there are many options here available to you. I'd like you guys to sort of tell me what it is that you want to do at this Bahari party while you wait for whatever ceremony is going to start.
I think right now, Imogen would excuse herself from the coterie for a moment and just kind of float around and make sure everyone's enjoying themselves and if they need anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Imogen's doing that. What about Maria? What's Maria doing?
Azure has decision paralysis.
We love that.
So I'm thinking she's probably, at least for the moment, sticking around the coterie, understanding that Imogen is being the host, so floating around, kind of keeping her eyes out, and I guess seeing Edgar. She's going to smile and walk over to him and offer him a hug.
Okay. I'd rather not be touched at the moment. Thank you.
Did something happen? Did I miss something?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Talk later then on that.
What about you, Edgar?
Edgar is going to stare at Hector Milliner for about a solid 3 minutes and then walk off to the least occupied part of the home currently.
Well, right now you're in the main room, which seems to be where everyone is. The least occupied part of where you are allowed to be. As you see, starting to get the feeling that the childer of Hanalori Lamia are keeping you here. They don't want you off exploring the rest of the house. Sure. And I should note, you see 11 child are here, including Imogen. One's missing. The least populous place is the solarium at the moment.
Yeah. Once there's eye contact confirmation, Edgar will just head into the solarium.
All right. What about you, Tullio? You are hungry. You're starving.
I will need to be getting a drink, all the while having picked out Hector and Beatrice, just kind of keeping a mindful eye on those two.
So, let's get you a drink. You see a young man. As I said, he has no clothes on. And he's wearing a mask, and he is just standing against the wall, as all of them are. He takes several paces forward towards you.
A hunger boy.
He inclines his neck, holds out his arms, as if any body part of his is yours.
Have you heard of what my bite can do to you?
We live for pleasure and pain. It is Lilith's way.
Then I will give you half your reverence tonight, and I will take his wrist and bite.
Excellent. So he does yell out in pain, but as you've had this before, you've had to feed on people before, but his yell is almost one of ecstasy. It's almost as if he is enjoying how painful this is for him. And are you going to take 3 dots?
I am going to take 3 dots.
Awesome. So here's what's going to happen as you drink. Imogen and all the rest of the Lamia, including Hannelore, as she performed her blood sorcery ritual of her herd ward, you are aware that Tullio was feeding from a member of the Bahari. You can immediately clock your attention to it and make sure that he doesn't kill them. And second to that, you're going to be under the fun new thing from Bloodstained Love called Ripples of the Heart, where you are going to, and I'll let you make a decision here, which one you would like to do. You are either going to be in an extremely good mood, or you are going to fall under your clan compulsion. Which one would you like? I didn't let you pick which mortal, so either you're going to fall under your clan compulsion, or you're going to be having suddenly the best time of your life, like being back at the Prince of Burgain like you were the other night.
Oh, absolutely fucking not that. Clan compulsion, please.
All right, so you're going to fall under your clan compulsion of morbidity, and as you drink from him, you're going to be at a 2 dice penalty to anything that doesn't involve killing or seeing something come to life. If you would like to kill him, Imogen will clock that, and that is a violation of this party, and the Bahari will descend on you, just to let you know.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill him. That sounds like bad times.
But Imogen, are you watching him?
I am.
It's almost like a spider sense you feel when someone's drinking from one of the mortals.
Yeah, I'm watching.
All right, and Adelaide, what would you like to do?
So, is Hannelore here yet?
No.
Okay. In that case, I would like to go speak to the Ashers if I can clock that people are being nicer to them.
They certainly are. They are seated, again, sort of like Hector and Beatrice. They are seated in their own sort of throne-type chair with Nicola sitting and Oleg standing next to him.
Have I seen them at family dinners before?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen them, but probably not really spoken to them.
Yes.
So.
Everyone, including Lucius, make me an intelligence and either politics or intelligence and etiquette roll.
So that's going to be intelligence.
I'm going to do politics because I have 3 dots in politics in this one.
I mean, we all know how Lucius feels about the Cappadocians at the moment. Betrayers, right? 4. 4. 5.
With the messy crit.
3. Okay, Adelaide, you're going to fall under your clan compulsion until you see something die or until you see something come to life. You're going to be a 2 dice penalty to anything not involving that.
5 also with a messy crit.
Same thing for you,
fuck.
Edgar. If you're going to fall under your clan compulsion. It's also like something happened at this party where they want you to watch someone die. You're going to be a 2 dice penalty to anything not involving that. And you, Luna.
4.
4. So everybody here present would know that the Cappadocians, as they are now, as the Hecata transformed the Samdi into no longer being corpse-like and did all sorts of other fun mystical things with your blood, like gave everyone the painful bite. The Harbingers of Asher, the remnants of the original Clan of Death, they now, after having their bloodlust sated for killing Giovanni all over the world, they have decided to go back to their roots, so to speak, where they are very much concerned with the soul. Not like the Samdi, who are sort of more ministry-like in the soul. They believe that the natural state of their bloodline should be dead. There should be a coming together of death and life in this world, and the closer you are to death, the closer you are to some sort of salvation. And you all would know that Oleg is not really Oleg anymore, that he has allowed a spirit to embody himself at a permanent basis, and he and the spirit share this body, and sometimes Oleg talks to you, and sometimes the spirit talks to you. And so when you look at him through his obsidian mask, his eyes are completely white. So that's the information you have about him. And as I said, he's not the head of the bloodline. So Adelaide, you may make your way over there. Now finally, Lucius, what do you want to do? You see Imogen is alone. You see Tullio is feeding on someone. You see Maria is also alone, hasn't gone over to anyone. Maria is a Rossellini, famously loyal to the Giovanni. As they should be.
I think it would be wise to go to the Rossellini.
Wonderful. So, Maria's like, oh no. So that is how we'll do that. And we'll take a break very shortly. But before we take a break, let's do this sort of in turn order here. Edgar, you've walked into the solarium where there's many wrought iron furniture here for you to sit and relax on. Do you sit down on any of them, or do you stand in the solarium?
No, Edgar doesn't sit down. I think Edgar takes his word very seriously, and when he joined the Bahari, there's something he hadn't done yet. There's a service he hasn't provided, and I think he will take the knife that is in his jacket out, and he will cut into his palm, and he'll water the flowers.
All right. Ross, check, please.
Success.
Okay. And the bed of jasmine writhes and moans in pleasure as you feed it your blood. And as you feed it a little, and as you stop the flow, it gets angry. You can hear it. It screams and yells, something Imogen's very familiar with, calling out for more practically until it finally quiets down. It's very greedy. And as you finish doing that, you also notice just beyond the jasmine bed, you see a slab. Now, you've maybe been in this solarium once before, maybe when you joined, but there is a slab that's been brought in here, a ceremonial slab, looks like for someone to lay down on. There's no one on it currently, though.
I think for a moment he'll just go and lay on it himself.
All right. So as you go and you lay on the slab, your cousin, Hector Milliner, walks over to you and sort of tilts his head down. His red hair spills out a little bit from where he has it pulled back. Comfortable, cousin?
Better pet chili.
What are you doing?
Reminding myself of something.
You made eyes at me. You want to talk or not?
That's why we're here. What do you know?
That's a really complicated question. Dad's lost his mind? Does that sum it up?
What is the nature of his bargain with Sahira?
I don't know what that is. And I'm being really, really honest with you. All I know, you know, Dad. If it's not Ambrose, it's Angus. And me, I think he just embraced me so I would stop complaining about it.
No. He embraced you for a reason.
Dad joined up with the Anarchs because he's trying to create instability in Berlin.
Well, he's succeeding.
Yes. He's doing it because of some prophecy.
Do you remember which one?
Well, that's the weird thing. It's different from the one that Beatrice's sire is doing.
So they've all been lied to.
According to my mother, who, would run herself through a sword, even though Dad's never embraced her, is he believes that one of us 3 boys will be the heir to the Crown of Shadows, and the only way to do that is to make the city unstable. And we need to bring it together, and then when we do, one of us will be heir presumptive, or something like that. It's total bullshit.
Every prophecy is bullshit.
I mean, you're not going to get any argument from me, but really you should talk to Beatrice. Her sire is a little bit more unhinged than Dad, and that's saying a lot.
Send her in.
I don't really get to order her around.
Invite her on my behalf, please.
I'll try.
And Hector.
Mm-hmm.
Your little family that you're hiding with should get out of the city. And when I call you back, it will be safe.
We're safe where we are. We have help. The sheriff's scourge is helping us.
You shouldn't have told me that.
I didn't tell you which one, did I?
Doesn't matter. When all of this is done, I will lead my family, and you will lead yours.
That's the goal. That's what Beatrice wants. That's what Lamar wants.
Then we will make it so.
I'll see if Beatrice will come in here. She's pretty handy with this thing where she can kind of make you feel good.
I don't need that right now.
But
I would
disagree.
like to speak to him. Sure.
So, yes. So we are going to move our scene now to Lucius going to speak with Maria. And Imogen, we're going to move. You want to go see what Edgar's doing in the solarium. Naughty boy shouldn't be. He should be where the furniture is, where you can see from this room. But you saw him go in there, but now you don't see him anymore. And you got to make sure that he's not doing anything untoward. So, Lucius, right. You see Maria standing by herself. You are aware that she is the child of Minerva Rossellini. Not a member of the Giovanni family, but the Rossellinis were always hyper loyal to the Giovannis and always great allies. So you may approach her. And Maria, you've never seen or met. Well, you have seen a picture, a drawing of Lucius Giovanni. However, Lucius is wearing a mask. If you would like to make me a wits and insight roll.
You gave me the option. Remember, you gave me the option.
Yes. Because you have seen a drawing.
Do I recognize that jawline from the napkin drawing?
It was a sketch pad.
Oh, okay. Wits and awareness, you said?
Insight.
Or insight.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3.
And while you do that, Lucius can tell me how he approaches Maria.
Oh, it's very directly and very casually where he walks up and says, Guten Abend, my niece, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
4.
You absolutely recognize who this is.
I think she wasn't probably looking directly at you when you approached her, but the second you speak, her eyes dart up, and it takes a second, but there's a moment. It's gonna be a little obvious because Maria's not fantastic at hiding her emotional state. At times, there's going to be a flash of realization of who you are for a split second there before it melts back into her usual, well, good evening to you. I don't think we've met, have we?
No, not before. I am Lucius, and you are Rossellini, yes?
Yes, I'm Maria. Your Uncle Lucius? Uncle Lulu?
Yes. I extend a hand to shake.
She's gonna take the hand, but instead of just shaking, she's gonna do that thing where you kind of go in for a hug at the same time.
Well, I'm sure Lucius wasn't expecting that, so you probably just squash the handshake between the two of you and then put your
Yep.
arm around. He doesn't he doesn't move very far. It's like trying to hug a rock.
Okay, the second that her eyes are not in view of Lucius, she's like scanning the room trying to see where Tullio and Imogen are.
Imogen, you don't see. Tullio is right now, you see, being approached by Hannelore. You don't. Adelaide is approaching the ushers, and Edgar, you don't see at all.
Okay. And obviously Tullio is not in a position to see me right now, right? No? Okay. Oh, lovely. That's probably all clocking in her head at that split second as she pulls away. Well, it's so lovely to meet you. I'm surprised you're here.
I thought the opportunity to meet with my family would be one that I could not ignore.
Well, I can't blame you there. You look great. I love the mask. I love the tie combo. It's perfect. It's popping off.
Giovanni must represent ourselves well. You also.
Oh, thank you. I tried. I don't normally own anything that's quite like this, but I did my best.
Is that
And
not...
she's going to offer a little bit of a curtsy at that.
And how did you come to have faith in Lilith?
I believe that is between me and her.
Very well.
We all got to have our secrets, right?
Some held more deeply than others. I do recall that the Rossellini were instrumental before the fall.
My mother has told me much. But also I'm still learning.
Perhaps you should listen to her more closely.
Oh, believe me, that is my intent.
Good.
Have you talked to our lovely host, Imogen, yet?
I was intending to get around to it later. First, I was interested in how you felt about Imogen.
She's my family and my mentor. I trust her implicitly. Why wouldn't I?
You have no reason. I, too, have a great admiration and trust for all of our cousins. It is nice to see them here together. Wouldn't you agree?
I do. It is quite the party. And it's quite the occasion. Curious to see what this ceremony is going to be about. Even though I'm a member of the Bahari, I have no idea.
The first initiates.
Indeed.
We all start somewhere.
That we do. I would like to, in that second, activate Sense the Unseen. Is there anything weird about Lucius that I see?
That depends, Lucius. Have you nommed any more Thunbloods?
Any more?
No. Not recently.
Then no.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sure someone of your great esteem has a lot to be doing tonight.
I'm here to enjoy myself.
Then there seems to be music, and I'm all about having fun. Would you care to dance with me?
I would relish the opportunity.
All right. Finally, someone getting out onto the parquet dance floor underneath the sparkly chandelier. Both Lucius and Maria make me dexterity or composure, whichever's higher for you, and performance rolls for dancing. And while that's going on, Adelaide, you walked over to Oleg and Nicola Asher. They are seated, both of them just staring straight forward. They're wearing they're wearing white, so they are members of the Bahari. And both of them just eye you. As I said, all you can see is their eyes. Oleg's wearing a completely obsidian mask and has like white eyes. And, or am I getting them? Hang on, I might be getting them mixed up. I might be. Yes, I'm sorry. Nicola has completely white eyes and wearing an obsidian mask, and Oleg has a mask made out of bone. And they just stare. Yep, we'll get right back to your dancing in a second. They just stare at you.
Good evening, uncle, cousin.
Nicola responds to you in an ethereal voice, almost if he speaks with two vocal cords. Good evening, Adelaide.
It is nice to see you here. I know we have not spent much time.
Is that a statement or a question?
No, it is a statement. I was looking for the right verbiage.
As you say.
Is Ilsa not here tonight?
No.
I trust she is faring well, though.
She is faring as she always has.
I don't mean to be rude, but am I supposed to be paying you some deference? I know not much about the Bahari, or...
The deference we are paid is blood calling to blood. It is not something that we ask for or intend.
Ah! Thank you for clarifying.
I am imagining you don't feel it.
No, I don't know what you are speaking of.
It is because your bloodline does not come from us.
So it is more.
In the same way that the clan Tremere comes from blood of other kindred through some sort of, I don't know the word, infernal ritual. The Nagaraja were created through some sort of similar act. I don't know what blood it was. I think the rumor is the followers of Set, or the Ministry, whatever they call themselves in the modern nights.
Snakes, the lot of them.
As some call your bloodline. I hold no opinion on your bloodline myself.
I just wanted to come speak with you, since we hadn't had a chance, and it has been so long since a family dinner.
The next one is coming. Word came this evening.
I suppose I shall see you there.
You shall.
Good evening, uncle, cousin.
Oleg never said a word during this exchange.
Mm-hmm. The bloodline comment. Adelaide's gonna go find a drink.
Mm-hmm. And you may. And as you turn around to go find a drink, you see Maria and someone dancing on the dance floor. What were your roles?
That was the question I was going to ask. Was my ears were ringing at the time? What was the role you wanted of me?
Dex or composure, plus performance, whichever's higher for you. 3 for Lucius. Lucius, you grew up here in Germany, and you would have been privy to learning the waltz. Skilled enough at dancing.
2.
Okay, so Lucius definitely leads the dance and is a much more skilled dancer than you. Dance is a little old-fashioned, you think, but that makes sense based on what you've heard about him. And you see Maria being practically swept off of her feet on this dance floor as you go to find a blood doll. And you may certainly find a blood doll. You're already under your clan compulsion, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So as you feed on another man here, you may also feel like you are going to have a good time, or you may continue to feel under your clan compulsion. I'll leave it up to you.
Good time. We're
Okay.
gonna have a good time.
So as
It's
you
gonna be a
feed from
great
him,
night.
you take 2 dots, is that correct? Or 1 dot?
Adelaide was only at 1 hunger.
Oh, all right. So you can just take a little, and Ludwig is very disappointed that you don't take more. He starts to enjoy the ecstasy of the pain, but then you stop, and he looks at you kind of disappointed. And of course, Imogen,
make
as
any
you're making your way out to the solarium, you catch that as well, that Adelaide's feeding. And you're like, God damn it, I can't only be in so many places at the same time. And yes, you may feel this sense of euphoria now, this sense of happiness to be here. Enjoy yourself. And you may join Maria and Lucius on the dance floor if you like.
I believe that is what she will do. She was going to go talk to Beatrice, but if she looks back...
Beatrice, you don't see her
is-
either. She's not here.
Yeah. If Beatrice is gone, then yeah.
All right. So you sort of ask to cut in, or do you just join them twirling around on the parquet?
How is Maria looking?
She's putting on a face for Lucius, but as somebody who knows Maria, you can tell that she's uncomfortable. Some of her movements are a little stiffer than they would have been otherwise. She's not as loose as she was at Berghain.
Not really the same type of music.
Well, but still, like, there's still like that energy about a situation. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell, like, she's definitely a little stiffer, and her eyes are like looking around at the same time. If
All right. If Maria's looking like, please save me, Adelaide will approach.
Would you mind if I cut in? Maria, you should see if Imogen needs anything.
Oh, of course. That's right. I'm so sorry, Lucius. It's been a pleasure to dance with you and to finally meet you.
I'm sure you have many duties. I appreciate the dance.
Of
And
course.
you, would you like to continue dancing?
Yes, dancing sounds nicer right now.
I take her hand and I continue to waltz.
I touch him first.
You are wearing the necklace I didn't ask. You're wearing it here? Are you joking? Oh my God.
Sense the unseen is still going. Is that?
Yeah, you'd absolutely see that. Adelaide is wearing a necklace with a Kindred ward on it.
Maria kind of just like gives you a little bit of a look.
Are you serious?
But
Look,
she
it
will
was a
say,
gift from the love of her own life.
Okay.
Did I
You know what,
almost
I
get
can
bug
go.
zapped?
Yes, you almost got bugs out. Absolutely. The witch got bugs out.
Fantastic.
Yeah, okay, so Adelaide, you notice Adelaide reaches out and grabs your hand first. You also have, do you have Sense the Unseen? I don't think you do.
I do have Auspex.
You have Auspex,
Yes.
but, oh, you do have Sense the Unseen.
Yeah, I got sense.
Yeah, so you notice that, and you can turn on Sense the Unseen. You can see she has a, you're not skilled in blood sorcery, but you see some sort of blood sorcery ward on the necklace that she's wearing. And Adelaide, composure or dexterity and performance, please, to continue dancing with Lucius, and we'll move back to that in a minute. Imogen, you make your way out into the solarium, and you see Edgar is laying on the slab here. You see Hector Milliner and Beatrice Putinesca with him here as well. Hector is looks pretty similar to Edgar in the sense of their height, same color hair. His hair's a little bit longer. Looks very Scottish Highlander brogue-esque, right? But Beatrice is someone who's a little bit shorter. She is curvy or voluptuous, Rubenesque, however you like to put it. And she has very long dark hair, and she's wearing a long, elegant black dress and a black, very simple black mask. And she's leaning over Edgar at this moment, and she seems to be caressing his face. And she rolled 5 successes for a panacea roll, Edgar. And as she caresses over your face, rubs in your hair and around your eyes, you feel suddenly very calm and very at ease. And any tension that you might have been feeling with 5 successes suddenly floats away. And you feel like you're not in any danger. You're not in any emotional distress. You're in a very neutral place right now.
Does that remove me from my clan compulsion?
Yes, I would allow that. With that amount of... She rolled a critical success.
Edgar will stand up off the slab. Still, his fingertips still on it. Just... I appreciate that.
You are very welcome. And you see Imogen has also arrived, and you see Edgar is on the slab, Imogen.
Oh boy. Evening everyone. Are you enjoying yourselves? And she'll bore her eyes into Edgar.
You should probably be here for this conversation, Imogen.
Okay. Have you gotten off the slab by now, or are you still on it?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's resting his fingertips on it, but
That's
not
unacceptable.
like-
That's unacceptable, Imogen.
Could we not? We don't touch the slab, please.
so this is where it'll happen.
Yes.
Who else knows? Because I'm not supposed to know, but I know.
Don't think that's appropriate right now.
Sure. Whatever you say, Imogen. Right.
Beatrice sort of looks around as if like, okay, is this all I was called out here to do? And she and Hector are holding hands.
Well, tell me what delusion Maurizio is laboring under.
I already talked to your cousin, but I guess she didn't tell you, which I admire, actually. My father believes that only through the destruction of the Camarilla and eventually the Anarchs will some heir apparent to the Crown of Shadows reveal themselves in the city of Berlin. He's also been told something about a Singer of Light, and he believes that he either has some of their blood or has access to blood of theirs, something to that effect. I had left him by that time. I got that information secondhand. He has no acumen for blood sorcery, but
he would obviously keep the blood near him.
Yes, he keeps it around his neck. In a vial.
Then I will make the same oath to you that I made to Hector. I will reach out to him when everything is done. And when it is done, I would like you to lead your family.
I'd like to make you an offer, cousin. I want the Putinesca wiped out of this city.
Why?
They are overrun. Maurizio, Marco, Matteo, they have been left unchecked to embrace dozens of childer. You couldn't get to my father even if you tried.
I can.
If it wasn't for Lamar and Hector, I never would have been able to escape.
They're good boys. I'm
I
glad
love-
you have.
I love them dearly.
Hector promises me you're safe where you are, but I still think it would be a good idea for the three of you to get out of Berlin for a little while, but I'm in no position to make demands.
You aren't, and I do not mean this as an insult, cousin, but I have been a Kindred longer than you. And I have learned much from my isolation.
I did always feel that you were done an injustice, Beatrice.
You are correct.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
I'm not.
Very well then. Do the two of you plan on staying for the entirety of the events of the evening?
Well, we never get to have date nights.
Good.
And we feared to bring Lamar here. We worry for him the most.
As do I.
Urbano is very powerful.
I know the least about him, but I know that is what makes him the most dangerous. That nobody really knows much about him, save for his children.
That is also correct. She looks to you, Imogen. And what of your mother? When we gather for the family dinner, can we count on her?
Given how what Imogen knows, she's going to say, yes, of course.
We will all be there, even Lamar. And if we cannot stand together, we will die together.
Good thoughts, good deeds, good words.
The two of them look at you with unrecognizing eyes.
Just remember that. I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you both for meeting with me, and your courtesy in the manner will be remembered.
Hector comes up to you and kisses you on the lips, and then pulls you in for a hug.
Edgar will whisper in his ear, perhaps a failsafe concerning Hannah-Laurie might be needed.
Removes himself from the hug and nods, but doesn't say anything.
And Edgar will just lean his forehead against his. I have loved you most of all.
That means everything to me. Everything.
Go. Enjoy yourselves.
If there is anything you need, please let me know.
We are looking forward to the ceremony. And they leave.
As am I.
Would Edgar and Imogen like to share any words before we move to Tullio?
Yeah.
Get off the slab.
She'll say, what possessed you to... Are you doing okay? You seem melancholy.
To say the least.
You are feeling better now, Edgar, with the panacea. You can't you can't really feel sad at the moment.
I feel fine in the moment, but this is where Hannah-Laurie will kill Carla.
How do you know that?
You just told me.
Fuck.
Why? I mean, I understand why, but I want to hear it from you. I want to hear what Hannah-Laurie has told you.
She looks down and sad, but she tries to put on a face, and she says, "It is Lilith's will to sacrifice her child here."
Lilith's will.
What else are we here to do?
It's all the same game to them. Everyone who acts like they speak for some sort of god, it's all the same game. And I'm sorry you're caught up in it.
Why did you join, Edgar?
Because I have no greater powers of Auspics than any of the rest of us. I doubt that I've learned any greater blood sorcery than you're capable of. I have no great inheritance to my name like Tullio. I have no skills with working with the dead like Maria and Adelaide. I joined the Bahari because I can see things without any power. I read people, and something you will regret for the rest of your unlife is about to happen. Not Carla. You'll remember her name, but you'll forget how you felt about her eventually. It's what comes after that. Once that becomes acceptable, then what? After you watch your mother kill your sister, then what? If your mother just decides that Lucius should have the Shadowbane and we should have the veil torn down, then what? If your mother decides that Maria's next to die, then what?
A lot of hypotheticals.
They're not hypotheticals. I wish they were. God, I wish I could make it all just bits of paranoia.
For what it's worth, I don't want this.
Like I said, it's not this I'm worried about. I think she's made her peace. It's what comes next.
So, as that conversation comes to an end and you sort of usher Edgar back into the main room where he belongs, Tullio, you have finished feeding. You are under your clan compulsion, and you feel someone standing behind you, someone who casts a very long shadow. Someone who you saw just last night in this very house.
Lori.
Dr. Giovanni.
I'll turn to face her.
Are you in a better mood than you were when you picked up my daughter?
Far better. She's put me in a much better mood than I have had in many nights, as we've discussed.
Are you prepared for what it means should the two of you move forward into this leading the bloodline here in Berlin, as Olivia desires?
It's a big question.
That's why I ask it.
I have been made prepared.
That was not the question that I asked. Are you and Imogen prepared for what that means?
We'll weather the storm together.
Is that good?
So glad you approve.
My approval is not required. What is required is Imogen's happiness, and if she is not happy with you, she has the tools and the will to execute you.
She does. Are you worried about me, Hannah Loring?
Yes. As I worry for every member of this family. But especially you.
It must be a terrible thing to have such a large heart.
Everything on me is large, Dr. Giovanni.
How are you finding your evening?
I am resolved to my duty.
Your duty to Lilith.
Genau. I am sorry, Tullio, that I did not find you first.
I think Tullio is going to just open his mouth and close it and just not reply.
She'll nod, and she will abscond. She is not staying for the party. You're not really sure why, but she leaves again to no longer be here. You see Edgar and Imogen coming back out from the solarium. You join them. You see Maria standing very close to the dance floor, staring at two people dancing. And it is Adelaide, and all of you now can clock that it is Lucius. Adelaide, what did you roll for your roll?
3.
So you keep pace with Lucius as you dance. And you may speak to this Nagaraja. Now, Lucius, this is the strangest of all of the bloodlines for you. The Nagaraja have nothing to do with the Giovanni, with the Cappadocian. Why are they here? It's the Samdi are an offshoot of the Giovanni, and thereby an offshoot of the Cappadocian, but the Nagaraja, how interesting. And of course, you know Adelaide's sire, Alexander, for things that he's done for you.
You are a fantastic dancer.
It's a new skill I'm learning to hone.
Among many others,
Yes.
is blood sorcery among that repertoire?
What a strange question.
I only noticed your necklace.
Thank you. I quite enjoy it.
Did you make it yourself?
No, I don't have any affinity for blood magic. Do you? Is that an interest that you have, or?
I have interest in it, but no affinity.
Hmm.
Every tool has its use.
And some tools have multiple uses. Yes.
Likewise, I am interested in whether the family has embraced you. Do you feel comfortable among them?
Are you known for your strange questions? I know very little of you as a person.
Very well. What would you like to know of me?
While she's talking to him, can I use Fatal Flaw?
Absolutely, you can. There's
Okay.
there's no contest to that, is there? There is, actually.
Yes, there is.
What is the contested roll to that?
Okay, the contested roll was based on what Adelaide would like.
Are you going for mental or physical?
Mental.
Okay. I'm going to sweep the leg here on the dance floor. What is the contested roll?
It is. I looked at it and then immediately forgot.
Sure. I mean, I could pull out my friggin' player's guide.
It's subterfuge. and stamina.
Stamina and subterfuge for Lucius. Tullio, Imogen, Edgar, and Maria, you're all
Oh
watching.
no, composure. I lied. Stamina's the one for physical weakness.
Okay, composure and subterfuge. You're all watching Adelaide dancing on this parquet with Lucius Giovanni. And they're both dancing really well. You watch Lucius lift Adelaide up in a spin, and then you watch Adelaide dance around, sort of move their ankles around Lucius's to a very intimate dance. Very talented. What did you roll, Lucius?
7.
7. 5. So you attempt to perceive some sort of mental... You can willpower if you want to.
Oh God.
But
Okay.
so
yeah.
so can Lucius.
Okay.
And if Lucius blood surges, he gets, what, two or 3 dice?
Yeah.
Josh
that's
smiling
7.
kills me. I love it.
I only had 2 to re-roll. I rolled 2 10s. I'm so sorry.
Oh, whoopsies.
It was a good attempt. It's fine.
So you
All
attempt
right.
to find some sort of mental weakness in Lucius, but he is a stone block. And he just stares deeply at you from beneath his mask as he swirls you around and seems to be very much enjoying the dance. I would like to know what the rest of the coterie are doing as they watch this display, please.
I would like to have Maria do like a quick little feed on pretty much any of the offerings. Just
Would you like
on
to fall
range.
under your clan compulsion, or would you like to be having a real good time?
Let's have a real good time with
All
this
right.
because I feel like Maria's going to want to have a real good time with
All right,
this.
so you may remove your hunger to 1.
Thank you.
Yes,
I
Edgar?
think Edgar is just going to look to his brother and his brother's whatever.
His brother's
My
whatever.
brother and my brother's whatever.
And
Your
and just
cousin.
say, do either of you have any expressed interest in spending time with Lucius?
Tullio, please go ahead.
Oh, me? No, I was just. She's just like dumbfounded. She's shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Tullio hasn't.
Staring at this.
Yeah, Tullio hasn't waited. Tullio is already stepping toward 2 that are dancing.
Well, I was gonna offer to run interference, but fuck it. Let's see how this turns out.
Probably about that moment that Maria comes back, a little bit of blood
Yeah.
on her
So Edgar-
lip, and she's
Edgar will take his pocket square out and clean up Maria's mouth.
So you're not planning on going to the dance floor? Just Tullio's going? I need to know where everyone's going. Are you planning on taking Maria out on the dance floor to maybe try and listen in?
No,
He'll
I'm
take-
going-
Edgar will take Maria out on the dance floor to maintain closeness so that when things start to get a little close and loud, he can cut in and switch partners and take Lucius off
Sure.
of Tullio's hands.
And Tullio, you're going alone. You're not taking Imogen.
I intend to cut in.
All right. So as you keep dancing, Lucius, you see your child, Tullio.
I say to Adelaide, of course, if you wish to ask me anything, I am an open book. But I am interested in your opinions of Tullio.
My coterie mate.
Yes.
He's very skilled at what he does.
And what does he do?
Did you not know he's a doctor? Were you not paying that close attention to their childhoods?
A man can be more than one thing. I
feel
was
like you-
interested in if he had grown.
It's hard to grow without the right kind of support.
Then the family has let him down. Would you say he would repay that favor?
One more time, I didn't catch that middle part.
Would Tullio repay the favor? Would he support his family?
I don't know why you're asking me. You should ask Tullio.
It's been a long
Excuse me.
time, Lucius, since someone has stepped up to you like that. It's almost a little bit exciting.
Your opinions are of great interest to me. Perhaps you would support your newfound family, I suppose.
My coterie, they have my support. That's the point of a coterie, is it not?
I'm heartened to hear it. Have you worked well together so far?
Do you say that you are an open book because you keep trying to read people?
Wordplay will get you nowhere. Direct questions are where I live. Please. If you would like to see me read someone, then perhaps we should change partners.
By all means.
Is Tullio approaching? Like, right
I imagine Tullio was pretty close to the periphery for this.
Yeah.
And that Lucius just wasn't letting him yet.
Oh, for sure. He was not worried about
I
whether
imagine he's
Luz
not.
overheard or anything.
Maria,
Adelaide.
before we do that, Edgar, you need to, Maria, you roll 2 successes. If you want to roll again, composure and performance, you can. But just, remember, things can go bad sometimes when you roll. And either composure and dexterity and performance, Edgar, for you. Adelaide, as you break away from Lucius, I need to let you know, you get this feeling that you're becoming familiar with now that Bella's been your ghoul. She's extremely, extremely happy. Yeah, you've gotten this feeling from her sometimes when she's watching Love Island and something really exciting happens. But so it might be that. But she's extremely happy for some reason. That's all you get.
Okay, there's that pull of concern, but yeah, as soon as Adelaide said that, she would have let go of Lucius and grabbed onto Tullio and like pulled him into a swing.
He would have resisted.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding his hand out to Lucius.
Maria, what did you roll?
Edgar, I hope you're holding on tight. Bestial failure.
Oh, fun. So you are going to fall under your clan compulsion, Maria. Until you see something die or until you see something come to life, you're going to be at a 2 dice penalty. And Edgar, you're going to have to carry Maria through this dance because Maria's feeling very apparently worried about this situation. Like randomly, Lucius is here, all the stories they've heard about Lucius. And so they can't keep their composure. They like maxed it out with that dance with Lucius. They put everything they had into that to keep their composure. And now you're going to have to carry the dance. But with 5 successes, you will be able to. So you swing Maria out onto the dance floor. How close do you get to them?
Relatively close. I would say within like 2. Well, because the circle that I waltz moves in is about a 2-meter circle. So I would say like just on that kind of periphery right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as Edgar takes control of the dance and takes lead, in what has been an increasingly rare gesture of his intimacy with his family, his hand that will move to Maria's hip will start at her jaw, as like he kind of like forces that eye contact for a moment. Says, just exist. You don't need to do anything else. And will move in a waltz very unbefitting of someone who looks his age. Very practiced.
And Maria
looks
is
can
just
be
going to do
deceiving.
her best.
Mm-hmm. And
to
Imogen,
just, like,
what?
flow.
Mm-hmm. And Imogen, what are you doing? Adelaide can sidle back up to you now. She's left the dance floor because Tullio's dancing with Lucius now. Tullio, composure and performance, or dexterity and performance, whatever's hard for you.
Imogen was looking at this exchange and worried what was about to happen. And when Adelaide walks up, she snaps her attention to Adelaide and say, "What did he say to you?"
He's fishing for information. Are you alright? You're not that child anymore, Imogen. This is your party.
What did you roll, Tullio?
I'm gonna spend some willpower.
Is she trying to impress Papa?
5 successes.
All right, you're actually going to dance better than Lucius. And Lucius, I assume you allow the dance to happen with your child.
Oh, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
so Tullio is actually a better dancer than you, surprisingly. He's fairly light on his feet, and he takes lead. And you may have that conversation now. And Maria and Edgar, Edgar with 5 successes, you'll be able to keep privy of this conversation, both of you.
Can I listen with heightened senses?
You'll have to make me a resolve and auspex roll, because there's other things going on here that might make
Right.
noise. And for that, I'm going to need 5 successes.
Oof. Okay.
But please continue your conversation.
Did you bring a +1?
I am flying solo, but your company is much appreciated.
Happy to provide.
I had heard that you were just a doctor, but it
Just a
seems you are also a dancer. I am much more impressed than anything that your Nagaraja friend had said to me.
A wise man once told me I was born to lead in all things.
And so I see you do.
What are you doing here, Lucius?
Your tone hurts me. Why would I not take an opportunity to see my family?
I am so sorry to pause this right here. Imogen, with your messy critical, you're going to pull Adelaide out onto the dance floor and get close enough to listen to this conversation. You can't stand to be this far away. You have to hear it. And Adelaide, Imogen, with a lot more strength than you're anticipating, is going to pull you out and dance.
I will make sure that I had my hand on Imogen's forearm when I was asking her if she's okay, because we're not setting the host on fire.
Absolutely.
Okay, composure.
No, you don't need to roll again.
Okay, perfect.
This messy critical is not about having a good dance. This is about Imogen. Basically, I'm going to listen in, and it's very obvious and not at all good. Lucius and Tullio, please continue.
Yes, your family is all gathered. Save for one. Where is Irma?
Safe. Why do you doubt me? Such an icy reception. Have you no love for family?
I love my family more than anything. I have not heard from you in years. No message, no letter, no text. Are you telling me with all of your power you couldn't give me anything?
I have given you everything, Tullio. If you would only reach and grab it. I have put things within your fingertips for the last decade. I have watched you dance around them.
At this point, Tullio will, out of step with the waltz, will jump ahead to the move where he pulls Lucius closer by the waist. Why wasn't I told about Imogen?
Who's told you?
No one. My memories have returned. I have surpassed whatever fucking magic you put on me. I am your heir, and thus I am your better.
That is yet to be seen.
Test me.
There is a night coming, but it is not this night. If you truly wish to be there, then I am unable to help you. That is something you must grab for yourself. And if you feel this way, then perhaps I should be more proud than I feel right now. That fire in you, I see it return. What will you do with it?
You will see very soon. There is no place for you to hide and watch anymore, Lucius. This fire that you stoked, you will feel its warmth up close and personal.
Please. I would truly love to see that one day. And just so you are aware, you have already rooted me out of hiding.
Tullio will attempt to dip Lucius.
You certainly can with 5 successes.
And with a kiss, he will then pull away and right himself and say, "Welcome home, Father."
Allow me to say something I have never heard myself. I am proud of you.
He takes a step back and gives a bow, and then turns, looking for Imogen.
Lucius, you see Imogen as well dancing with Adelaide. She's dancing uncomfortably close to you. If you'd like to draw her in, you can.
I take a gracious step at the right point in the dance and offer my hand. But he...
Imogen sees that and says, "I have nothing to say to you."
It seems unlikely.
She'll take your hand.
And Tullio, you may pick up Adelaide.
I think that Edgar will, in a spin, send Maria off to Adelaide and then take Tullio by the hand and the waist.
As
Maria.
Edgar takes your hand, Adelaide, I have to note again, another flood of joy passes through you, coming from Bella. You don't know what's happening. Might be a really awesome episode of Love Island. Like the best one ever.
So Adelaide will let go of Imogen.
Excuse me, Imogen, is there a small place where I can make a quick phone call?
I imagine we have a little camarilla, little side room.
You do, but no one is allowed out of this room or
Right.
out of the solarium until the party is over. The Lamia are guarding these doors.
Can we step out? Could she step outside?
She could step out into the solarium, certainly.
Yes, you could step to the solarium.
Thank you. And thank you for the dance before, Lucius.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna make eyes at Tullio really quick, and then I think take Maria with her.
While Imogen and Lucius have a conversation, but Adelaide and Maria, you've stepped away. Adelaide, you're trying to call Bella.
Yeah, Adelaide fishes her phone out from where Ted has it.
Oh my god, you brought Thing with you?
I brought Ted. I asked Imogen specifically if
That's
Ted
right, I
was
did forget that.
considered a
Yeah.
weapon.
So you were also waltzing with a homunculus.
Yeah, he was just in her hair. Who needs a hair clip when you have extra hands?
You know, that's very
Fucking
fair.
Nagaraja is so weird.
Emotional support, Ted.
So you call Bella, And she answers pretty quickly. And she says, "Hi, Mama. How's the party?"
It's going. What's going on?
Oh, Aelin got up and walked to the bathroom.
That's wonderful.
She's in the shower. I'm outside the door.
Okay. Okay. Just what happened? Was there
What do you mean?
any change or?
No. I was just in bed with her, and I was telling her about, the all the seasons of Love Island because she hasn't watched them all, and I wanted to watch the latest one, and so I had to catch her up on all the seasons, and so I was just telling her about all the stuff, so she would be prepared for when we watched it, and then she just stood up, which I thought was rude, but she stood up, so then I was shocked and happy.
Is she actually in the bathroom?
Yeah, she's taking a shower.
Okay. Don't let her leave. Don't let her leave.
It's her
She wants
house.
to go. I know. Okay, if she leaves, you pull, and I need to talk to Edgar. God damn it. Okay. Thank you, Bella. I'm glad things are going okay.
I wish I could find someone who likes Love Island. Maybe Katrin likes Love Island, but I don't think so.
No.
I just want someone to watch it with.
I watch it with you.
I know, Mama, but I can see how much you want to die when you watch it with me.
I don't understand the people, but it makes you so happy, and I love watching you be happy. I have to get back to the party. I'm so sorry, my love.
It's okay. I'll just be here.
And she'll hang up the phone.
Lucius and Imogen now dancing. Edgar and Tullio struggling with who's going to lead, dancing uncomfortably close to each other. Maria having a little existential crisis while Adelaide attempts to correct that.
Yeah, she's just probably standing there looking at the flowers, just 1,000 yards staring.
So let's resolve Lucius and Imogen talking, and then we need to proceed with the ceremony.
Imogen looks real mad.
Lucius looks like he is prepared to bear the brunt of her wrath and is just silent for a little bit.
So is she. And she finally says, why are you here? What's your game?
You know my game. A family.
When have you actually cared about family? Besides when they could benefit you.
When I could benefit them.
How did that night benefit me?
Made you greater. I see your memories have returned as well.
They have. Lilith showed me.
Of course.
My conviction is stronger than whatever you tried to do to me.
And what conviction is that?
Make sure you don't get what you want.
How could you possibly keep it from me? You are the heir of prophecy, perhaps.
She looks confused for a moment. I don't know. I'm not going to let you trick me again.
What trick is this? I wished to dance with my daughter, and I got that wish. I am happier now than I have been in a decade.
Why now?
There's no timeline for Providence. I just had a feeling.
I won't let you ruin this night for me.
What do you intend to do?
Nothing. My duty.
I'm glad to hear it. Please. Your duty is what I always wanted for you.
Couldn't say anything.
Do you break away from Lucius?
I do.
All right. And as she breaks away from you and Tullio and Edgar, you sort of, swoop in like her wingman to keep her from, make sure that she's okay and remove her from the parquet, from the dance floor. Lucius, someone who has been in this room this whole time, one of your followers, worshippers, however you'd like to put it, Calixtus, approaches you in his very long mask and says, "And how was the reunion with your childer?"
Perhaps that is not something I wish to discuss.
I ask only, sir, if they have found the Shadow Bane.
I believe they know a lot more now than they did.
Perhaps an invitation in the future is in order. To your domain, sir.
Of course.
Would you
I
like
don't think they will accept it. But we will see.
I think we have ways. We have people they care about.
Tullio did ask about Irma.
As I said, if Imogen knew who else we had, she would ask about them as well. I've made
That's
them.
why
I've made them
I'm
quite
joking.
comfortable, sir. They're quite comfortable now.
Good. Is the feeding easier?
I think it will be once we get a system going. That's a little. I did discuss putting in a trapdoor.
I had considered that. Please.
I will discuss it with Francesca.
Now, go enjoy your family.
I think, sir, the ceremony is about to begin, and we should abscond. But if you would like to stay for it, I obviously will not object.
I would like to stay.
Of course. I will provide a way out for you, should you wish to leave early.
Thank you.
He nods and sort of slinks back away to mingle.
I do want to note very quickly, as Tullio and Edgar swooped up on Imogen, Edgar turned around and walked backwards off the dance floor, not letting his eyes leave Lucius.
Mm-hmm. You saw Lucius speaking to someone who you don't know.
Masks. They're a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. And his was a full mask. Lucius, would you like to speak to Edgar?
I'd like to make the opportunity for him.
Might take it as read that you would like Edgar to approach you as opposed to the other way around.
No, I'll walk towards Edgar, making it very clear that I'm open for a conversation.
Wonderful. And the rest of the
Edgar
coterie
will
can
just-
watch.
He'll just pat the back of Imogen's hand and make his way over to Lucius. I've heard so much about you. It's good to finally put a face with a name.
Yes. I I've heard likewise some small things about you.
I'll tell you what I heard about you if you tell me what you heard about me.
As I would expect from a banker.
Edgar will kiss both of Lucius' cheeks, and as he kisses his left cheek, he'll say, "My mother speaks so highly of you."
Okay.
Your mother.
Hang on. Okay, if you're gonna do that, I need, because we've already gotten you going lies already. When I should have made Imogen roll something for when you mentioned Carla. So you're gonna have to roll me manipulation and subterfuge and a wits and insight, because absolutely has Olivia never spoken to Edgar about Lucius. Absolutely never, not once in his own life.
What was that? Wits insight?
Wits and insight, Lucius. Reminder, blood surge, you can add 3 dice to your roll. You have an enormous amount of willpower as well as an enormous amount of health. But not that health will help you. But just in case Edgar has a screwdriver.
Just a flex. Just a flex on all of us here that are just... okay, very cool, Huddy. Thank you.
I also succeeded on my blood surge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
This
Okay.
night is going exactly as I expected it
Me
to go.
too.
I'm very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Dance, puppets, dance. Huddy laughing in the corner.
10 successes.
Oh my god.
So as far as Lucius, it's very surprising to you that Olivia or Francesca, as you knew her when you were a young boy, and what you call her when you speak to her. Of course, everyone else in the Hecata calls her Olivia Duncern. And she is a Duncern, embraced as a Duncern. And you are very surprised that she would speak to Edgar at all. From every conversation you've had with Olivia, Edgar is the child that she felt forced to make, that she felt she compelled to continue her bloodline. She never wanted to be a Duncern. She wanted to remain a Giovanni, and Osric forced the embrace upon her. Lied to everyone, told them that they were broodmates, but forced it upon her. She is someone who very much wants to reclaim what was taken from her. So for Olivia to have talked about you seems unlikely, but it doesn't seem like Edgar is lying.
And your mother is in more trouble than I thought. And by extension, your position is untenable.
I often find that the most important work must be done from an untenable place.
So I hear. Screwdrivers?
A rudimentary implement for a rudimentary task. I find that one should use a tool befitting of the situation. If you want to pound a nail, why use anything other than a hammer? When someone screws you, you should use a driver.
And yet your metaphors have belied how twisted your logic is.
Anyway. It's good to see you, Lucius. I don't mean to take up much of your time, but we should speak in the future, you and I.
I would relish the opportunity. Please, do not lead over more Bahari's things.
It's my duty as one of the Bahari to feed the garden. I assure you, my blood is spilled only where it's meant to.
Do not drag Tullio down. Farewell.
So as Lucius absconds the rest of the coterie, if you'd like to take a few minutes to discuss anything, now is the time to do it with each other as Edgar rejoins you, before the ceremony will begin.
take it Imogen's has to go prepare for the ceremony, or is she available?
She is available.
She's standing there, like, watching Lucius for as long as she can, shaking.
You both, I don't do well with that. Are you all right? I know you're not, but that seems the appropriate phrase to ask.
I'm fine.
Did you know that he would be here?
No.
Did Hannelore invite him?
I don't know why she would.
Where is she?
Spoke with her earlier. She's busy, very busy, it seems.
We should all steel ourselves for what comes next, and I can't bear to watch it.
What's
even though
happening?
I'm forced to be. It's not my place to say.
And as you say that, Hannelore appears with Osric beside her. Osric dressed in a white suit. You see him, Lucius, your father, next to your mother. He does not acknowledge you, though. Hannelore comes over to you, Imogen, and she says, "The ceremony is about to begin. Please gather all members of the Bahari to partake in the ceremony, while the others may observe if they wish, or not, they may stay in this room."
Yes, Mother.
She steps back from you, waiting for you to do it.
And yeah, she'll look to Edgar and Maria and say, "Well, let us go, and then we get everyone else."
Of
She'll
course.
walk away and gather everyone.
Maria's going to look to Edgar for a moment and then the rest of the coterie before following.
Does everyone go into the solarium who are not Bahari? Including you, Lucius.
I go where I'm asked to as part of the ritual.
All right. What about you, Adelaide?
Adelaide's gonna look to Tullio. Hey, let's walking around and taking a shower. She's gonna get really close to Tullio's ear. And I think we need to leave as soon as possible.
We will. Is she... This is going to sound foolish. It's confirmed she's just cleaning, or is the door closed and the shower is running?
Door is closed, the shower is running. Bella said she is taking a shower, but
I need Bella to check, if you can, please.
I'll pull up my phone really quick and send Bella a quick text.
What does the text say?
Go check if she's in the bathroom.
Text comes back pretty quickly. She's changing.
Yes, she's still there. She's changing.
Good.
You're all in there. I assume, Edgar, you also went in as Imogen said, go into this.
Yeah. Edgar is just staring at Osric.
You have a few moments to talk to them as all of you have gathered in here. Hannelore is standing at the front of this slab inside of the solarium. The rest of the Bahari, dressed in white, and Hannelore Lamia's children, dressed in black robes, and Imogen, are standing around it. And Osric is standing there. You may speak to him if you wish.
Where have you been?
I've been with your auntie upstairs.
I didn't mean tonight.
I was with Kenneth.
No, you fucking weren't.
Yes, I was. And then he said that he didn't want to live anymore and I couldn't bring myself to kill him, so I let him go. And I'll deal with Olivia's bullshit over that later. I don't know where the fuck he is.
Father of the fucking year.
He doesn't answer you.
No, what? You're so full of shit.
You don't know the half of it.
I think I'm starting to.
This isn't the time or the place, Edgar.
No, it's not. So you tell me where the place is, and I'll tell you the time.
Family dinner is coming up.
No, it's gonna need to happen for the hell, man.
I don't have anything to say to you right now, Edgar. And I don't know if I have anything to say to you after tonight.
Of course you don't.
You have no idea what is going on. And I cannot play babysitter with you right now.
How many other Dunsarns that you've ashed did you say that to?
Clearly not enough.
Fucking clearly.
He walks away from you, goes to stand on the other side of Hannelore.
Edgar spits behind him as he walks.
Let's activate the Bush of Life to do that.
Fuck it. I'll rouse check for spitting.
I feel compelled as your storyteller to remind you of the Up All Night merit, and you are going to spike your humanity to 10 humanity if you do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Teresa.
I don't get hungry.
All right, but now you're at 10 humanity, and everything is accelerated now. All your emotions, whether that panacea that Beatrice did, well, that's not working super great anymore. Now you're feeling all the mixed emotions of meeting Lucius, learning that Osric's a piece of shit, or confirming that Osric's a piece of shit. What's going to happen to Carla? All these emotions, poop, right through the roof right now. But as that happens, Hannelore stands at the front of the slab, and she makes a grand announcement to everyone. One of the tenets of Lilith is that we must never forsake her ceremonies. And for the safety of us all, for 11 years we were in confinement, and we were not able to honor our mother, our dark mother, properly. And so now, we pay penance, we make our dues, we shed blood in her garden. And all of your sisters, Imogen, begin humming a low hum, and of course you join in with them. And eventually you see coming in through the main room someone wearing a mask that looks like a Medusa mask. It's made out of porcelain. They are completely naked. It's a woman. And she walks into the room past everyone. The people, Lucius and Adelaide and Tullio, you sort of part away so that she can pass by. And she walks up onto the slab. She holds her hands out to the two nearest people, which happen to be Edgar and Maria, to help her up onto the slab.
Maria will take the hand and offer assistance.
Edgar, do you take Carla's hand? Who you know this must be Carla.
He will, and he'll kiss her hand as he helps her up.
She does, and she lays completely flat down on the slab, still wearing the Medusa mask. And Hannelore says, "And so we sacrifice one of our own to the Dark Mother, my first child, Ahihai Lilitu." And she looks around as Imogen has put you all in a circle, these Bahari. First come all of Hannelore Lamia's children in their black robes. They lift up their veils and all of them bite into Carla. She begins screaming out into the night. It's a horrifying sound, but she does not try to run, try to flee. And as they drink from her, they step back away from themselves. And then Hanalori looks to the rest of the Bahari to do their duty. Osric goes first, immediately, without hesitation, bites into her shoulder. You watch Philippa Milliner and Oleg Asher and the rest of them all do this. Adelaide and Tullio, you can clock that your uncle Akua Samdi looks absolutely disgusted. He has left the solarium and has gone back into the main room. Beatrice also looks displeased with this, and she turns away into Hector's chest. Lucius, what is your feeling watching this? I imagine not that disturbed by it.
Not particularly. He is interested in how the family treats itself. That's mostly why he stayed. He'll be watching the reactions of the coterie.
What about you, Adelaide? What is your reaction to this?
It's completely blank as she's watching all this, but if you're clocking, when the screaming starts, she's still holding onto Tullio's arm and she's like squeezing it.
He'll offer an arm, or a hand over her arm.
What is your reaction, Tullio, to this?
He's not looking away. There's clearly a look of distaste. I think that likely with how well Lucius knows him, probably clocks that he doesn't approve. This is all wasteful, he feels. This is not the unification of the family that he hoped for.
Certainly. So as the rest of the Bahari go around, Maria, it comes to you. Do you do your duty, or do you refuse?
She's watching this and being accustomed to sacrifice herself
You are.
for her own rituals and the like. There's a moment of hesitation, but she goes in.
All right. And you drink a little bit from Carla Lamia. She screams. Which part of her body do you drink from?
Honestly, whichever is just closest right in front of her.
Or be her calf, maybe? Her shin, her calf. And you get that feeling, that sense, that small amount of the blood bond that enters you, but it's only a small amount as you only take some. And Edgar, finally, it is you. Imogen has not gone yet, I must note. But it is your turn next.
Through bloody tears, Edgar can't bring himself to do it.
Imogen, the rest of your sisters notice this. And they start gathering behind Edgar.
Do I know what for?
To force him to.
She'll look to Edgar with a very sad, almost pleading look.
Edgar will lean down and kiss Carla's cheek, just in her ear. I can't do this unless you tell me this is what you want.
Carla, through her mask, says, Would you deny me this honor, cousin?
It was a lifetime ago. But when I was young, you were the first taste of love I had. I can't do this.
Then kiss me, Edgar, and let me go.
I'll see you in the next life.
Ahihai Lilitu.
Don't make me say it. And Edgar will bite into her chest just a just below the clavicle.
Mm-hmm. Edgar, as you bite into her chest and her blood fills your mouth, you know that Aelin broke your blood bond to your mother. When you drink Carla's blood, you feel no bond form. Please give yourself the unbondable merit.
Heard.
As you drink, you do not have to drink much. She screams in your ear. But just as with the blood dolls in the main room, it's a scream of ecstasy. And now, Imogen, you know it is your duty to finish it. This is your honor as the youngest child. And I asked you before, privately, if you were planning diablerie or not. And I gave you the option. I need that answer now.
Imogen already feels bad and conflicted enough. I don't think she'd want to do that to Carla.
Mm-hmm. So you also drink. Where do you drink from?
First, I lean down towards her ear and kiss her cheek and say, "I'm sorry. Ahi hai Lilitu."
Ahi hai Lilitu.
And she'll hesitate and bite into her neck.
Mm-hmm. You drink. You too feel that slight blood bond. You don't have bond slave, do you?
I do.
So you get immediately bonded to Carla. I couldn't remember if you had bond slave or stake bait. You would get immediately bonded to Carla when you do this, and suddenly you become very fearful that something is going to happen to Carla. And you see your mother, Hannelore Lamia, come up behind her with a very large, sharp Zweihände.
She'll pull back. I'm sorry, continue.
You are bonded now to Carla from this one sip. You feel like you want to protect her. I need a willpower roll from you.
It's 5.
I need only one success. But you cannot willpower a willpower roll.
1 success.
All right. So, all of you who are close enough, Maria and Edgar, can see that there is an urge in Imogen to stop Hannelore as she comes up behind Carla with a Zweihände that should look a lot bigger in her hands, but it doesn't because she's 7 feet tall. And she lifts it up over her head and swings it down, removing the head of Carla Lamia. The porcelain mask shatters to the ground in hundreds of pieces. And you watch Carla's body begin to decay on the slab.
I think Imogen would drop to her knees crying.
None of your sisters come to comfort you in this moment because they are required to feed her body to the garden. And they begin bringing out their ritual daggers and dismembering her as she decomposes to feed her to the flowers. But of course, your coterie can comfort you.
Maria will. The moment that she sees Imogen fall, she's
Lucius,
going to come over.
you watch your daughter fall to her knees, crying over the loss of her sister. So familiar, is it not?
I can fix that.
We know that you can. So, the ceremony has ended. The children of Lamia, the people who are guarding the entrances, are leaving the spaces so that you may leave when you wish to. And Lucius, that includes you as well, unless you'd like to speak to anyone else before you abscond, while they comfort a weeping Imogen.
He will wait and watch and see the unity of the coterie, and if anyone were to look at him, they would see a look of approval. But unless someone approaches him, he is going to leave.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak with Lucius before he leaves?
I think Maria's too focused on making sure Imogen's okay right now.
Calixtus approaches you and he says, I have the car ready. We can head back to Lux whenever you want.
Of course.
I think this went well, my lord.
I am not so sure.
You are much wiser than I.
Have you felt connected to your family this evening?
I have. It was quite pleasant to speak to the Ashers. I do plan on killing them eventually.
That is your right.
Cappadocians need to have a little pushback, I think.
Revenge takes its time.
And time
I'm
is
not
all
so
we
sure.
have.
I'm not so sure that time will be enough for my family to change how it feels about me.
I think, should we find the Shadowbane, they will have no choice but to come under your banner. When you show them, they will see.
That is the only alternative. You have learned well. Let us leave.
Yes, sir. And Lucius absconds from our scene. And the rest of the Bahari are leaving. The people who are non-Bahari are also leaving. This party is over. Hannelore Lamia's children, as I said, are chopping up Carla's decomposing body and feeding it to the flowers. And Hannelore is observing this. Osric has also taken his leave. Is there anything you'd like to say to each other before something happens?
There is, firstly, binding fetter. Is there anything popping off with that right now?
No.
Okay. I just had to check. And she's gonna look at Imogen.
Carla came in naked.
Well, the mask.
The mask is shattered. Yes, Edgar.
Are there enough of the snakes intact from the mask?
There are not. Seems the
Are there
purpose-
at least 2?
There are not. It seems the purpose of it. Whoopsies. It seems the purpose of it was for it to shatter.
Then Edgar will just pick
Ceremonially.
up 2 disparate shards of it.
You can pick up 2 small green shards, yes. But Hannelore looks at you disapprovingly. She is still here.
Edgar will just look to her. I have always borne a great love for you, but I do not need your approval in this matter. I'm sorry.
I suppose that works out. You weren't going to get it.
And he'll kneel and he'll reach out to Imogen and kind of open her hand and put one in it.
Looks at Edgar and just has this look of like, just the only way to lamenting sadness. She's sorry.
If you don't want to be here tonight, you can always come to my home. I can't stand to be here any longer. I'm sorry.
Imogen, do you wish to stay here tonight, or do you wish to stay with perhaps Tullio or Maria or Adelaide or Edgar? But you know that Aelin is ill. At least you believe Aelin is ill, and it might be a
Right.
not appropriate, so to speak.
Right.
My shop is also open if you wish it.
Yeah, but you know Maria has plenty of space. Adelaide has a small home, but Tullio also
I
has
have
a home. She has a dirt basement that
very
she sleeps
nice sofa.
I love that for you. She'll nod and say thank you, and she'll kind of look around, see where Tullio is.
in. He's here, next to you.
He's standing still. Hasn't comforted.
She'll look ashamed. No, that's okay. Thank you.
Would you like to go back to your room?
I need to see everyone out. She'll get up.
We do need to go.
As you say that we do need to go, Adelaide, you get another feeling from Bella that she's very close. And then you get a text message that says, I'm here.
Adelaide's booking it outside.
All of you watch Adelaide leave suddenly after checking her phone.
Edgar was already on the way out.
Maria and Tullio, do you leave? And Imogen, do you stay or do you follow them out?
I'll follow them out.
Okay. So as
Oh.
there are people who are leaving, and you are sort of some of the last to leave as you stayed behind a little bit with Imogen. You see that there is a Mercedes convertible pulled up to Hannelore Lamia's home. And Edgar, you recognize this car. It's Aylin's car. And Adelaide is standing, not Adelaide, Bella is standing in front of the car, and she waves when she sees you. And you watch Aylin step out of the car. She looks showered and clean. She's wearing a cashmere sweater, and long skirt. And Bella says, "It's like a miracle." She just got up and showered, and she said that she was going to come here.
Edgar just falls into her arms.
Okay, let's take this in turn order before we do jumper. Auspex, sense the unseen. Her light is as bright as you remember it being the night you met her after Peacock Island. Edgar, as you approach her, something happens to you as she stares at you. You get a thump in your heart, and you're already artificially now at 10 humanity. I need you to increase your humanity naturally to 9.
Okay.
As she stares at you intensely. And for mechanical purposes, humanity 9 means that you can now drink liquids, eat raw meat, and you no longer need to activate the blush of life to appear human or to have sexual intercourse.
But I can still use the merit to bump to 10.
Yes, and it's very strange, Edgar. It's a heartbeat that happens to you, and it stops you dead in your fucking tracks. And all of you can notice this.
In Arabic, Adelaide's going to say,
Your light is back.
Aylin looks at you and says, "Yes, I noticed."
It isn't safe here.
I brought you Bella. I need to speak to Edgar alone.
Do you see it now?
No. And you notice she's wearing the necklace. But you don't see anything on the necklace.
Tullio will kiss Edgar's cheek before he leaves and just say, "A whole lifetime of apologies," and just kind of pat his face.
I think Edgar will kind of again, in a rare show of his affection, he'll just kind of put his hand on Tullio's bicep. Just say, "We are not our parents' children. We belong to each other. And fuck the rest of them."
You'll be happy if you unlock.
So Tullio, you want to leave? You came here in a car. You need to take Adelaide and Bella home.
Yeah,
Maria has her beetle. She can maybe go see.
he needs to unload.
She's got some time, maybe you can go check and see, drive by the city and have the binding fetter on and see if you pick up anything. That's a good night.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
He needs to unload his gift before Bella and Adelaide could both bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. We still have both of our parts, don't we?
And what about you, Imogen? Do you stay, or do you ask to go with Maria or Tullio?
She'll approach Tullio very timidly, which is not like her, and ask, "Can we talk?"
My home is open to you.
So let's do it this way. You unload the stuff. Adelaide, Edgar, Aelin gets into the driver's side. She's driving you, you're not driving her. And she waits for you to get in.
As weird as it is for him to not be driving, get in.
And she drives off right away. So let's get this going. Maria, you can text Catherine, see where she is, and she'll respond to you that she's at that she bar hopped with a bunch of the ghouls and that she'll be at home. That she's already gone home because the party's over and they all got text messages that the party was over. So that's where we can send you because I'm trying to wrap up the episode. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Imogen, Adelaide and Bella, you're going to be in the car with Tullio and Imogen. Is there anything that you wanted to say to Bella? Or can we move to Tullio and Imogen at...
Adelaide's kind of checking her over. What? Did she say anything to you, Bella? Or did just get in the car, let's go? Like, what happened?
I don't know. I was in the bed talking about Love Island, right? You know, like I do. And she was holding on to that necklace and she just kept saying that she was feeling better and that the necklace was making her feel better. And I thought, you know, I know she looked so sick and I thought maybe that she was just a little delirious. So I just agreed with her to, you know, keep her talking and feeling okay. And then she stood up.
Did you talk to her about her faith like I had asked you about, or like?
Oh, you know how I get when I start talking about Love Island.
I know.
I got a little distracted about it.
I love you.
But you should probably. But the symbol on the necklace is the one I've seen Kasim wear a necklace like that before. This one seemed nicer though. This one seemed like the one that he has. I think he got from the temple in Charlottenburg, but the one that she had was really nice, like really thick gold. Seemed older. Like the symbol looked a little different.
Question: have we seen her wear that before?
Nope. You saw it in her hand though before you left.
Well, as long as she's better, that's what matters.
I really don't know what's happening. I don't understand at all.
We are going to go home and have a nice quiet evening in. And I'm going to call Kasim.
But you did that every night anyway.
I do, but I have business. That is not personal.
Here's your
to me.
dagger, by the way. It's terrible.
you.
I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. It's like it's gonna crumble in my hand.
It's very specific. Don't ever try to stab anyone with it.
I don't want to stab anyone. Not until later.
It is a requirement.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
it
I'd
won't
rather
be
wait
difficult.
until then.
Yeah, I think that would be best.
I feel
Thank you.
like I'll be less squeamish then.
It doesn't make you less squeamish. It just makes you hungry.
Oh, can we get some fish sticks?
We will stop at the store for fish sticks at the corner market.
Awesome.
Okay.
So, Adelaide and Bella go home to have fish sticks, and I'm sure talk more about Love Island since she didn't get to finish talking about it with Aelin. And we'll have Tullio and Imogen in Tullio's home in his haven here in the Mitte to have your conversation, please.
And she's very not like herself. She's timid and fidgeting and trying to hold back tears.
Tullio is silent and very, just not comforting.
Right. I wish you didn't see that.
What makes both of us?
I want to apologize if this changes anything. I also didn't know he'd be there, and This night didn't go as I thought it would.
You expected more pomp and ceremony. You expected something beautiful. From your cult to your dark mother.
He's never led me astray.
Neither did Lucius.
It's not fair.
It was the exact same fucking thing. I watched you kill another sister.
She'll, fall silent, look at the ground for a moment. That never occurred to me. I don't feel the same.
Did you know what was going to happen?
I did.
Then it's worse, Imogen.
What was I?
Lucius cornered us. Gave us a surprise test, but you knew. You prepared for this. You sent fucking flowers for the event.
I didn't know he'd be there.
I'm not talking about Lucius. Your precious Hannelore is just like him. You and your other siblings tore into her. All for some dark purpose. For some better, greater good. For the will of Lilith. What makes it any different from the will of Lucius?
She doesn't say anything.
You killed her. And you knew. The whole time you knew it was going to happen. Was there ever a break? Was there ever a faltering of faith?
Yes.
Is this just who you are?
She'll look at him, like, not confused, but wanting him to elaborate.
I was dead set and intent on protecting you and your sister and Irma. All those years ago, I wanted to keep you all safe. I'm slowly realizing that you don't need to be kept safe. You can handle yourself. But we've made a promise not to lie to one another anymore. So you tell me right now. Should I be keeping people safe from you, Imogen?
Her eyes would go wide. No. No. No.
Which sibling is next?
I don't know. You and Edgar are right. But I don't know what to do with that.
This seems obvious to me. You ran from one monster into the arms of another. Running doesn't work. Hannelore, Lucius, Olivia. All of them are monsters. All of them will force you to do these things that you had to do tonight. And I hope, I pray to whatever God there is, this is not who you are.
I don't know if I know that anymore. Who I am.
Stay with me.
You want me to?
I'm appalled by your actions tonight. And what little weight that carries. I'm not your sire or your mentor or your teacher or your father. But I am appalled. Because I love you, Imogen. I love my family. And tonight you destroyed a member, one I never got the chance to know. I watched you grow. I watched you play. I watched. We both grew together. And maybe I'm the one that's a fool. But I know you can do better than this.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Apologies aren't anything. The collar isn't. I was wrong. A collar doesn't suit you. I think a crown would, though.
I'm not so sure. All I do is follow. How can I lead anything? Or anyone?
Stop fucking doubting yourself. Stop looking for a leader. Do you know people have warned me about the power that you hold? I cling to the idea of a throne and a crown. I don't know who it's supposed to be. But so long as I exist, I won't see you collared to some fucking monster.
She'll nod. And she's crying again.
At this point, Tullio will step forward and bring her head into his chest as he hugs her.
And Imogen, I take it as read that you're spending the night there?
Yes.
Or the day there, rather, I should say. All right. So that is where we'll leave that scene off for right now. And we'll move on to our final scene with Edgar in the car with Aelin. She's driving back to, and where Hannelori's house in Stiglitz-Eilendorf and your home in Charlottenburg, they are very close to each other, and she's been driving silently and fast. If there's anything you'd like to say to her on the drive, can't guarantee she'd answer you, but you may attempt it.
don't think Edgar says anything, but there's a reliquary bottle that, well, it would have been in his car, but this is her car.
This is her car, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think Edgar says anything. Then he's just rolling that piece of porcelain in his hand.
She pulls very sharply into the parking garage and slams on the brakes and just holds onto the steering wheel for a minute before saying anything. And as you see her gripping the steering wheel so hard, she's wearing the ring again. You're going to find the name of the girl that you killed. You're going to take care of her family for the rest of their natural lives. Do you understand me?
I'd already planned on it. Yes, ma'am.
What do you have to say for yourself, Edgar?
I don't want to be this, but I have to make it look like I do, and I'm sorry that that's what you saw.
That she turns and looks at you. Fortitude and occult roll, or stamina and occult, whichever is higher for you.
Okay. Fortitude and occult. They're the same roll. One. 160.
You feel, as you begin to say that she, almost in a gaslighty way, because you did not have to kill that blood doll. You were under your own free compunction to do so. But you decided to kill her anyway. You feel every muscle in your body tense up all at once. The tongue in your mouth suddenly feels like a heavy weight that drops down into your throat as she stares at you. But what's most unpleasant is you feel this very intense clenching around your heart, as if the ventricles around your heart are being very, very slowly collapsed in upon as she stares at you. And you cannot speak, and you cannot move. You can activate Sense the Unseen, however.
Yeah.
Her light glows extraordinarily bright. It's a white light now, not gold. You do not have to be a monster to humans, Edgar. Innocents are off limits from now on. And if you have a bloodlust that needs to be sated, when I come into my full power, my target practice before I take on this Shadowbane will be a witch. And you can sate your bloodlust on her, whatever is left of her corpse. And you feel that painfulness around your heart slowly decrease. You can move and speak again.
You're right. I didn't have to kill her. I'm trying to change. It's not. It's slower than I thought it would be. And you're right. These other kindred delight in monstrosity, and I was among them. And it's taking me time to change. I'm sorry.
She loops her hands around the back of your neck and pulls you in. Doesn't kiss you though, just pulls you in very close and leans her forehead against you. I want to believe you. but you have to show me.
I had to take part in the death of someone I loved very dearly tonight. And I'm not okay.
Aelin nods.
I don't know how to make this stop. It's the same tired melodrama that's been playing out for 1,000 years, and I just want it to stop.
There's one difference, Edgar. From 1,000 years of melodrama to now. 1,000 years ago, you didn't have me.
Don't have to be here. We could go. We could leave.
No. I will not. Whatever it is the Shadowbane does. And if I can stop it, I won't let this city turn to ruin because I am not afraid of dying. I won't leave someone like Bella to fall into whatever calamity will come out of it. Edgar. And saying we could take Bella with us is not enough. Innocents live in this city. Edgar.
I'm not responsible for them.
It is your people, your family, your vampires who do this. And you are okay with it.
I'm not okay with it. I'm tired of picking up the rope for everyone else. Osric had to be he just had to be a father for a fucking minute. Olivia just had to be a mother for a moment. Lucius could have decided not to torture his children. Minerva could actually care about Maria. Alexander could stop for a moment and consider that he still has a brother that if he would just turn around loves him, and a daughter who could learn to love him. I am tired of bearing the weight for everyone else, and it's all I've ever done. I was made to be what I am, to pick up the slack for my mother. She never wanted me. No one's ever wanted me. I was born into this life off of a one-night stand that made no sense, and the one person who ever tried to bear my weight got fucking murdered for it. I've never been anything other than someone that everyone else sloughs their burden on, and Aelin, I'm tired.
She crawls over from the driver's side, crawls into your lap. I want you, Edgar.
I know.
And I will help you carry your burdens. Our love did not spring from your blood.
No, it did not. I'm sorry, I'm not that person anymore. Sorry, I made that a requirement of you coming here.
You didn't know, and I didn't know. But Edgar, whatever I am, when I ascend, I will purify the city of anyone who harms you.
It's not your responsibility.
I get to decide what my responsibility is.
That's not what I meant.
I will
Oh,
make a city where Bella can be happy and free. I will save her like I saved your son.
I never needed this just for you to love me.
You have always had that, Edgar. But you just didn't see it.
I'm very tired. Can we go to bed?
Until you die, Edgar. Yes. And that is where we will end episode 4, Discipline of Desire, for this evening. Thank you, everyone.